No one talks to me like that.
Obviously someone should.
It's been 10 years since Victoria Justice first starred in the popular Nickelodeon series Victorious, and long gone are the days when she was booking successful TV shows like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, iCarly, and Zoe 101. Unfortunately, her career has quickly fizzled. Join us as we take a deeper look at Victoria Justice, the dark side of her Nickelodeon experience, and its aftermath that negatively impacted the direction of her entire career.
I told you not to tell anyone.
You did not make that clear.
Victoria Justice grew up in Hollywood, Florida, and at the age of 10, after landing a walk-on role on the hit show Gilmore Girls, the aspiring actress and her parents made the big move to the other Hollywood in California. In 2005, less than 2 years after Victoria was accepted into the musical theater program at the Millikan Performing Arts Academy in Los Angeles. During that time, she even appeared in advertisements for Ralph Lauren, Guess, Gap, and yes, even Peanut Butter Toast Crunch cereal. That same year, she was booking acting jobs on such shows as The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, as well as a reoccurring role on the Nickelodeon TV show Zoe 101. Soon after, the show's creator, Dan Schneider, was so impressed with the talented young star that he created a leading role for her in her very own show, the one we all know and love, Victorious. You could say that Victoria was quickly making her way up the acting ladder and was making a substantial mark in the entertainment world. Things were moving quickly, and Victoria's career was taking off.
You know, you're actually not terrible.
Things were going extremely well for Victoria and her acting career. She even began building her singing career due to the huge success of her hit TV show. However, after 3 seasons of Victorious, everything came to an unexpected end. The show was abruptly canceled in 2013, and it didn't even get a proper finale episode. There was so much mystery around it ending, and there's much speculation as to why. One of the biggest accusations was that Victoria wanted to leave the show to focus on her singing career, and was in fact going off to do a solo tour after the last season. Others blamed Victoria's co-star Ariana Grande because she was about to star in her own spin-off series, Sam and Cat. A lot of tension surrounded the accusations, and fans were angry with Ariana, but she quickly crushed the rumors that it wasn't her fault. She instead blamed Victoria in a response in her Ask.fm account, saying the only reason Victorious ended is because one girl didn't want to do it. Victoria responded on Twitter saying, "Some people would throw someone that they consider a friend under the bus just to make themselves look good. Hashtag stop being a phony. Hashtag if they only knew." Yikes, so much drama. Another unfortunate realization of the show was that although it was very popular and its viewership was reaching 2 million viewers on average, the show failed to create hit songs. Unlike other popular shows such as Glee, who had a whopping 207 hit songs throughout its 6 seasons, the show's Victorious album hit number 5 on the top 200 Billboard list, but only sold 40,000 copies. It's quite possible that because the show didn't feature charting music, that Nickelodeon didn't see it making enough substantial profits from the show, so they decided to cancel it. As successful as the show was, turns out parents hated it. Many complained that the parents in the show were portrayed as pushovers, and that the show represented a false reality of the average teenage girl. They also complained that the show lacked diversity.
That's mean.
Another odd fact about Victorious was that it had a very strict rule surrounding the actress's hairstyles. The show's creator, Dan Schneider, implemented the rule that all girls on the show must wear their hair down. He even revealed in his Dan Warp blog, "As everyone who works for me knows, I almost never let girls wear ponytails on my shows. Only once do we see Victoria in a ponytail during a scene where she has to pick up a huge mess." Schneider said it was necessary for that scene because of the large mess the character would have to clean up, and that's why her hair is in a ponytail.
Hey G, come scrap with us, this is fun!
One of the biggest and darkest controversies to come out of Victoria's experience on the show was her feud with Ariana Grande. When the show was canceled, there was quite a lot of finger-pointing in regards to who was to blame for its ending. And to further the tension and add fuel to the feud, an interview article in 17 magazine with Ariana Grande had quoted her saying, "I worked with someone who told me they'd never like me, but for some reason, I just felt like I needed her approval. So I started changing myself to please her. It made me stop being social and friendly. I was so unhappy." Many suspected that Ari was referring to her Victorious co-star. However, Victoria, 2 years later, on the Meredith Vieira show, had explained,
You know how the media like twists words? I was not talking about you. Obviously, like I was talking about someone on Broadway.
sadly, once the thought was put out there, it's hard to make it go away, no matter how many photo ops and even reunions you do. Fans have been speculating for years since the show ended that there was definitely a feud between them. In April 2015, Victoria, when asked if she would ever work with Ariana again, was quoted as saying, "I think we're kind of both on our separate paths right now. I've been more focused on acting and she's doing her singing thing and doing awesome." Many contemplated that it was less to do with different career paths and more to do with their dislike for each other. It didn't help that several years after that, in 2018, Ariana released a video for her song, Thank You Next. And although it features several members from the cast of Victorious, such as Danielle Lamone, Matt Bennett, and Liz Gillies, Justice was nowhere to be seen, further fueling the feud theories about the two girls. After having to leave Coachella early in 2019, fans assumed Victoria was avoiding Ariana by leaving the event right before Grande's performance. Victoria quickly responded with a video clearing up any confusion that she bailed because she didn't want to see her friend perform. And although at the time it went unnoticed, the feud between Victoria and Ariana caused an old video from 2010 to resurface. Victoria was accused of being jealous of Ariana receiving compliments over her beautiful voice and how she is always singing on set. When all the girls in the video were talking about how they love to sing, Victoria added,
We all sing.
That brings us to April 2020 during a Zoom video call for the show's cast's 10-year reunion. A viewer commented, "I think we are all the best," in reference to that same video from 10 years prior. Ariana shot down the commenter, immediately squashing any resurfacing of those old feud rumors. So maybe there isn't a feud, but maybe there is. We might never know. Unfortunately for Victoria, it has only continued the speculation and gossip about anything she does that happens to be connected to Ariana. It's something that she will never be able to escape. Sadly, even if her and Ariana's feud is not true, a fictional notion that Justice is mean and difficult to work with has hurt her reputation and career.
I don't want anyone to find out about the party bus.
I get it.
That brings us to Victoria's failing career since her time on Victorious. Victorious is a beautiful, talented actress and once starred as the lead in her own TV show. So why did her career seem to tank after Victorious was canceled? It obviously isn't due to lack of talent, as Justice is a triple threat, talented in acting, singing, and dancing. You would think she would be unstoppable, booking hit role after role, but her career has gone nowhere. Sadly, Victoria just can't seem to make anything stick since Victorious. After leaving the show, she set out on building her music career, and her first debut song, Gold, never made it to the top 100 Billboard list, nor did it see much in sales. Her album only sold a mere 30,000 copies. Victoria left her label with Columbia Records and decided to focus on her acting career. Her first big movie after Victorious, called Fun Sized, tanked. From there, she was only able to acquire small roles in shows like Man with a Plan, Queen America, and American Housewife. Eventually, Victoria was able to land a leading role in the TV show Eye Candy, but it was canceled after one season. She also starred as Janet in the TV movie Rocky Horror Picture Show back in 2016, but the movie also flopped, only getting a 25% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems lately her choice of film and television shows are much darker and more adult than we are used to seeing her in, like Eye Candy or 50 States of Fright. They are much different types of characters than her original role as Tori Vega in Victorious. Perhaps her fan base has trouble seeing her in any other way, and she unfortunately is suffering from the typecasting curse.
Yeah, I know a lot of people can relate to that. Unfortunately, it makes me so sad.
There is speculation that her failing career is due to the fact that she lacks brand, and her persona is somewhat boring. She has sort of a plain Jane vibe about her, and in an industry where image is everything and you need to constantly stand out amongst the crowd, her sweet teeny bopper persona no longer serves her in her career. She is often mistaken for Nina Dobrev, not to mention compared to several other celebrities, which in some ways is seen as a huge compliment to the actress, but it also is a deterrent in the casting room. Casting directors are always looking for someone who stands out from the rest. Unfortunately, it's easy for them to choose another actress over her.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I squirted hot cheese over my friend and her current boyfriend.
With all these unlucky career flops, we wonder how Victoria was able to snatch the hosting job for the upcoming Kids' Choice Awards.
Hey guys, Victoria Justice here, and I am so excited to be hosting the 2020 Kids' Choice Awards. Celebrate together.
With someone who is hardly ever in the spotlight, it does seem odd to give her the hosting gig. However, interestingly enough, the original broadcast of the first episode of Victorious took place following the Kids' Choice Awards back in 2010. We wonder if there is something in the works that will be announced on the awards show, seeing as it is the 10-year reunion of Victorious. Perhaps a reboot or an entirely new show featuring Victoria Justice. The fact that she was chosen to host the award show tells us that she hasn't completely lost her popularity amongst teens. Otherwise, she would never have been picked in the first place. Her job as host will definitely bring her to the online forefront of viewers and fans alike, creating more and better opportunities for her in the future. The award show will be airing live via the internet, a first for any award show since the coronavirus pandemic.
But basically how it's gonna go down is I'm hosting from my house.
The show was originally set up to be hosted by Chance the Rapper, but now has Victoria to take the reins. For whatever reason you may think Victoria's career has flopped or at least fizzled, we can't help but think her negative experience on Victorious was a huge cause of her downfall. From feuds and constant gossip, it's easy to peg Victoria as difficult to work with. We hope her hosting duties will help boost her career in a better, more positive direction, and she finally starts to see the success she has been working so hard to achieve. What do you think? Was Victoria's Nickelodeon experience really that dark? She definitely had to endure some difficulties surrounding the show, but more so since her days as a Nickelodeon star. With a career that seems to have flopped, we'll see what happens to her new hosting gig in May 2020. Do you think she'll do a good job? Let us know in the comments below.